He's got a first down and then some at midfield. Le'Veon Bell, kiss him goodbye, and all the way in. Touchdown, New York. Le'Veon Bell, 65 yards, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Extra point splits the uprights, and that makes the score 7-0. Now after the touchdown, it's Lachlan Edwards to kick it away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone.
At their own 25-yard line.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll run for the first time with Mark Ingram. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now here's a timeout defensively. Defensive timeout called by the Jets. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. From the gun, it's Jackson. He dumps it down to Ingram. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and they're going to face a 3rd down. We'll see what kind of mindset they have here offensively after giving up the touchdown on the opening drive.
And based on our time with them, prior to this game, I feel like they've got a good mindset going in. In fact, the discussion that we had with the coaching staff was, we may give up some points in this game, so our offense has to be ready each and every time to either equal or try and get us ahead and try and keep us ahead. This is their chance to respond to that first touchdown given up.
On 3rd down, Jackson out to his left. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. The start of this game shaping up nicely on that visiting sideline.
Yeah, how about that? You get your points on the opening drive. Then you get a big sack there on 3rd down, and you make the home crowd go.
There is a hush indeed. So on 4th down, here's Sam Cook to punt it away. And a fair catch called for and made just outside the 15-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Jets will take over 1st and 10. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. They have to be thrilled with that first drive. They got them the touchdown. Now they'll be looking to make it a 2-score advantage here on the road.
And they spent all week in practice, in meetings, talking about taking an early advantage. Being the road team, going up a score, that takes the crowd out of the game and puts some doubt in the minds of their opponents.
A Jet first down, 18 big yards that time. And they'll keep it on the ground with Bell. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. Give him 15 yards on that one, and the Jets move the chains. One thing's for sure, this defense has to figure out how to stop the ground game. He's eating them up here in the first quarter.
It looks like they have to go to different forces, aren't they? The conventional things aren't working too well. So I remember a coach of mine saying way back when a back's having a great game, you've got to get the ball out of his hands. See how far he can run without the ball. And what he meant was takeaways, knock it loose, because maybe you can't just stop him with just regular tackling.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Bell. Marcus Peters up to make the tackle.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
After 7-0 on EA Sports.
Check 26.
On 2nd down, it's Bell. Bell sheds him off. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. 23 yards the pickup there.
I know every time we watch Le'Veon Bell play, we think about him making people miss, the hesitation move. But you remember, he came out of Michigan State as a bruiser and a thumper, and he still has those capabilities.
At 225 pounds, an underrated part of his game. Now, after the run by Bell, here's another 1st and 10. And they give this time to the tailback. And they get to him quickly here as he's stopped right around the 13. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
He's had success on this drive, but not on this play.
Finally, they bowed up defensively. I think they were determined not to let him take it pretty much all the way down the field. Yeah,
it looks like they handled their run responsibilities correctly this time. What we call run fits, everyone was in the right place.
And a pickup of about 4 down inside the 10 to the 8-yard line.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
And he's in. Touchdown, Jets. An 8-yard touchdown run. And the Jets will extend their lead.
An excellent, long, sustained offensive drive. And now they can look across the field and see a defense that looks a little bit beaten down. Right now, as an offensive coordinator, you're thinking to yourself, can I dial up the knockout punch?
This will be taken in at the 1. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Jamal Adams on the safety blitz, too fast to handle. They'll come up after the sack on a 2nd and 12. They go play action with Jackson. He'll buy some time right. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. 2 minutes to play, first half. It's 14-0. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes' time, we'll hand you off to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have highlights and analysis of this first half of action. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Jackson on 3rd and long. They go screen. This is Ingram. And they're able to bring him down at the 20. A short gain there of just 4, and that'll bring up a 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high-percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here, they could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're
under pressure now. Darnold, and he goes down. The Ravens going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play.
Hey, Charlie. Here we go.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Darnold. And the pressure gets to him again.
Well, let's go ahead and detail this situation here. 3rd and long coming up. Back near your own goal line. I would be very hesitant about throwing the football in this situation.
Maybe just run up the middle?
Yeah, I think that might be the spot for them. You got to try and find some space for your punter because you don't want him backed up where he has to alter what he does.
From his end zone, 3rd and long for Darnold. He's going to fire one deep left sideline. And that'll be incomplete. Now, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down.
Well, we quit counting yardage on that one, didn't we? That was truly 3rd and a mile, wasn't it?
It was. I thought they might just go underneath, but they didn't. They wanted to get the first down there.
Yeah, they tried to pick up the huge chunk unsuccessfully. I'm with you.
Oh, they're on him too quickly. And he will score. Touchdown, Baltimore. In for the score as they are now on the board here in the first half. Justin Tucker for the extra point. And that one makes it 14-7. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And still plenty of time remaining here in the half, more than a minute. And we'll see if they just want to protect that lead or try to add on to it.
Well, with as much time as is left on the clock, I would imagine it would be the latter. I think they're going to try and add on to it. So what they're going to tell the team is very simply, if you can get out of bounds after making a play downfield, terrific. If you can't, everyone hustle to the line of scrimmage, either run another play or clock it and start over again.
Darnold on first down. Oh, did he hang on to it? He did on the dive. Nice grab. That one goes for 30 yards.
You got nothing. Watch this. Lady.
Throwing again is Darnold. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Back at the 26-yard line. Jalen Ferguson showing his strength and quickness there. A loss of 4. So on 4th down, the Jets turn to kicker Sam Ficken. On the right hash, it's a 43-yard attempt. Ficken's kick is good. And they will move up by 10 now, 17-7. Still a little bit of time left here in the second quarter, but they do get 3 before the half and expand that lead.
And they have to be happy about that, and we haven't met a team yet that doesn't put an emphasis on trying to get points on the board in the last 2 minutes of a half. They'll be real excited to have those up on the board.
At their own 24-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Time here for likely one play, then off to the locker room, and they're going to have some adjustments to make.
They certainly will, and I think a lot of people are thinking to themselves, all right, take the knee, get out of here, regroup. But how will the head coach and his staff approach halftime? Will it be angry? Will it be clinical? Will they be calm? Will they just let it all out? Who knows? I'm going to be a fly on the wall for this one now.
That's it for the first half. 2 more quarters to go. We'll have plenty more to see after the break. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gunn, getting set for quarter number 3 here. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is taken at the 3. Now a hit and a loose football. The big fella. And it's a touchdown for the Jets. A big play there. Taking it in. And the Jets will extend their lead. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
And he'll be taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room. And Jackson cannot get away, and he'll go down. 2nd and 14 as they've got work to do here after the sack.
You can't stop me, okay?
Jackson escaping the pressure right. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more.
Okay, let's go back a little bit and see if my schooling comes to the front. What's that old saying? Those who forget the lessons of history are doomed to repeat them. That's the same guy who's gotten back-to-back sacks. I think a double team may be in order.
After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 34. And it's a touchdown for the Jets. This D wanted to put it away before we even get to the 4th quarter, widening that margin a bit further.
And while they won't just empty the bench just yet, if you're a backup, start loosening up. I think you'll get a chance to play before this one is over now with that type of a cushion.
Point after, right down the middle. And that will shave one more off this lead. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their lock.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by Brian Poole. And they'll set up shop right near midfield at the 49-yard line. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Here's Bell. And he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Let's go, D, let's go. Hey, let's get there. Under 10, under 10, 10.
On 2nd down now. It's Bell, and he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
A 1st down throw, Darnold. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
That would have been a great catch, but it was real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
On 2nd down, it's Powell. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9.